Boom, guys, we're live. Hey guys, welcome to the Boom Effect podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Andrew Powell today. My name is Mamadou. Diallo. As you guys know, we specialize in pre-foreclosure / government list acquisition strategies in real estate. And today, this episode is going to focus about specifically door knocking, right? This is like a straight contact sport. And who better to talk to than my guy, Andrew, my brother here, because that's what he does. That's what he focuses on. That's what he loves. He went from driving trucks for 10 years to, now making a minimum of, already have rentals, making a minimum of $10,000 a month. Actually more. I'm just being humble right now. But through door knocking, real estate, and he actually loves it. Like he truly, truly enjoys it. Right. And if he can do it, I don't see why anybody else cannot do it. But I'm going to go over and ask him some newbie questions because I don't door knock. He does. Right. And I'm going to ask him some newbie questions. And then also like maybe you can help some of the newbies that are interested. Maybe they're like fearful to get into it. Right. To go ahead and, maybe start the journey into it and break down like how you do it. Like what is a day-to-day door knocker look like, right? So maybe like he can help you guys dismantle some of the fears that you might have right now to start door knocking, pre-foreclosures, you know what I mean? So guys, introduce yourself to the audience.
Hey guys, from say Andre, it's a Boom Squad, Jamaican as I can hear the accent. We represent Boom Squad right across the board, and pre-foreclosure is the niche. I'm gonna choose Mamadou, and for more than one reason. Of course, that's where you get the youth spread, and then you get the opportunity also for help homeowners who are going through a tough time, for kind of bring some type of solution to the problem. So it's a solution-based sports. You know what I mean? For me, I just door knock and be upfront with them. I like talking to sellers, even though sometimes we get cussed out. Me see a record one, make sure you post it.
Yeah. Guys, we listened to a brutal call yesterday where the seller's daughter, right?
Yeah, the daughter.
So the seller's daughter cussed out Andrew like it's an epic call. I might add the audio in this episode. Guys, remember, so the Boom Effect podcast live every single Monday, 6:30 p.m. So make sure you check it out on Spotify and on YouTube. All right. So I'm going to ask Andrew some questions and I'm going to add that call. But remember, he just said something key, right? When you get into real estate, wholesaling in general. So the first thing first is this, guys. If you're getting into real estate wholesaling, typically is because you're trying to build up your capital and then become an investor. Don't confuse wholesaling with real estate investing. It's absolutely not the same. Real estate wholesaling, to me, you agreed, Andrew, is just an acquisition strategy, and then you sell that contract for a fee, but you're not an investor until your name is on the HUD. You actually take down the property.
100%. And exit strategy also, you have to know the exit. Those are the investor part of it also.
Boom.
A lot of people don't understand. The acquisition, then you have the exit where you have to exit with this property.
Right. So don't confuse the two. So that's number one, right? But number two, if you get into real estate wholesaling, what better way to start than to start with going after sellers that one, you already know. They have problems before you even call them, because we're in a problem-solving business, right? So you want to find people that have problems. That's how you end up getting contracts and end up, making a fee on that contract. Typically, their problems have nothing to do with the property per se. It's typically private issues that they have that you have to solve, right? So you have to become a full-blown problem solver. So with that being said, bro, like why if somebody's sitting there, first of all, break down to the newbies, what is door knocking? Like what does that mean even? Door knocking pre-foreclosures. What does that mean?
So door knocking pre-foreclosures is when we actually make contact with the homeowner. At the homeowner, we get the address, we actually present ourselves in a delightful manner to make sure we're there for render some assistance to the door knocker. That is always the approach. The approach is for always get the backstory as to what's going on and how well we can assist right then and there. 90% of the time it has nothing to do with the real estate, but for find a solution. A lot of these people, they are back behind on bills.
Right.
Some don't even have food. Some them phone cut off. Some them don't even know what the next chapter of them life is. So with you and your expertise, and as long as I can bring some type of resolution and some type of comfort to these homeowners, that's where you become effective, and that's where the fees is at.
Got it. So it's literally like basically getting up in the morning, mapping out all the people that are behind on their, whether it be mortgages or taxes, doesn't matter, but they're listed on the lists.
Yeah.
Right? Is public? Is this data public information?
It is public information. I would typically pick it up at the county or through third-party websites.
Okay.
And for me, it's not even the morning of. It's from the night before that we'll actually gather all these data.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Kind of get inside of one zip code. So for me, the marketing strategy is for get inside of one zip code and then just target that zip code. A lot of these people already moved out already. A lot of these people don't even know where they're going. So from the night before, for me, it's get my envelopes Mamadou, because that's the marketing way of doing stuff, and just map it out inside of my Google Drive.
Right.
Go around inside a sequence, knock these doors. Sometimes we even re-knock the same doors twice, 3 times. And that's how we typically make contact with these people.
Guys, so basically what I learned with pre-foreclosures, because that's how I started as well. My first 3 deals in real estate was all pre-foreclosures. Yeah. I landed on it accidentally. Then I was like, this is a no-brainer, because when I talked to the seller, he already had problems. I didn't have to like try to convince him to sell the home. Like he wanted to see it go. Listen, I don't want to deal with this anymore. The bank is killing me, like my life is hell, help me out, right? Which is great. And then I felt more fulfilled when I got the check, because I really felt like I deserved the check after all the problems that I solved. So one is a no-brainer, because most people when they're starting, they don't have the money.
Of course.
This is a public data, so you can literally go online, like for example, like every county does it differently, but you can literally go and give them one free site, for example. What can you find this data?
The county website.
The county website, you have auction.com, preforeclosure.com, right? So it's public data. That's why we call them PropWire, right? That's why we call it government lists. Is public data, meaning like because like if the bank is going after a seller, they have to like publicly announce.
Of course.
They even publish it in the newspapers, for those of you that don't know, right? So that's number one. So that means you don't have to spend money to get the data. That's great for a newbie, because most people that start, they don't have the money. 2, you don't have the experience as a negotiator, most people. So that's where I think calling people that already have problems, you know, kind of help you, because you don't have to do a lot of negotiations really. It's just solution driven.
Of course.
It's like, hey, you know, I've been through, like, what are some of the problems that what are some of the common problems that pre-foreclosures sellers go through and tell you about?
The most common one is death.
Okay, somebody passed away.
Somebody passed away, and then them just not knowing what to do. Sometimes it's a husband, it's a wife. The husband might pass away. He might be the main breadwinner. You find they come across that a lot. Also, lost their jobs.
Got it.
Those are the ones that cause people to fall behind the most. And then whenever there's a death inside the family, of course, you know, these people outside of just back on payment, it's a travesty also. So we try to sometimes relocate these people. We call it the white glove treatment. Okay. So whenever these people, because we even take on the probate as well.
Right.
A lot of the times, if you was to go with the boom squad and sign this contract, we give you the white glove treatment. So we do the whole entire probate process free of cost for you.
Right.
Because you go with we as the person who are going to purchase the home. So we kind of have the white glove treatment where, hey, listen, you don't have to go get no attorney. We will come in and get everything sorted out and situated for you.
Got it. So basically top 3, loss of job. I know divorce. There's a lot of divorce. Definitely. And then death. Like somebody passed away. Guys, if you guys don't know, like here in the US, most people, like this is just real. Like this is just statistically real. You can Google it. Most people don't have $500 in their savings account. This is real, right? So what that means though is if a family member passed away and they leave a house, what happened 99% of the time, they don't just leave a house. They leave a house with bills, right? They have the mortgage. Maybe they haven't paid for a while. Maybe they left the tenant that's not paying. Maybe they have tax liens. Now the family members that inherit these properties, typically we call that probate. So now you have 2 pains mixed, right? So not only is he in pre-foreclosure, but he's also probate because somebody passed away. Well, these family members that inherit these properties, for those of you that don't know, is they inherited problems. They're like, oh my God, I already have my apartment. I already have my mortgage. I already have my rent. I already have my car payments. Like I have my life. I don't want to deal with this stuff. I don't have the money. And then going through the probate process, just so you guys know, the sellers have to pay for it.
Of course.
That's what Andrew means by, hey, when you're talking to the sellers as a newbie, as a wholesaler, like you are solving the problem for these people by taking on that problem, basically saying, hey, you don't have to flush the toilet, you don't have to fix it,
nothing,
right? We'll take care of the probate for you up front. Now remember, if you're sitting there thinking, well, I don't have the money, it's not you that pay for it, it's your buyer.
Absolutely.
So once you put it on the contract, right, and then you find your end buyer can literally fund this.
Of course.
For you with the earnest money. And just so you guys know, most of the attorneys that we work with to help these sellers, do they charge up front or do they charge in the back end?
No, them charge after the process is finished. So
boom. After
everything is completed, that's when the attorney typically charge.
Boom. So all you need is the connection, really, the attorney connection, right? Now, when he say white glove service, that means when you call the sellers, you're letting them know, hey, I have all the resources. Solutions, the resources you need. Even in the back end, guys, we help sellers fix their credit. Yeah. We connect them with the right in-house resources to help them fix their credit. We've helped how many sellers move?
Of course, right? Dump truck outside, where as far as give them a 60-day lease back sometimes.
Okay.
Just for render some assistance and just kind of just alleviate the mind and get themselves back underneath them foot where them can relax and take a breather. And sometimes we pay after the closing, we give them the money up front so them can cover any type of debt them need.
Right.
Fix them credit. Sometimes we look at different apartment, different location based on them choice or preference as to where they want to go. So it's a white glove treatment where just sit down, relax, we'll have everything covered.
Right. So if you love this series about, you know, the FBI and all this like freaking CSI, you're gonna love Pre-Foreclosures because the FBI type of model, right? Is like one, if you don't, let's say you call it 123 Main Street and the seller's name is John, and you cannot find John. Now you gotta go into a research mode. Yeah. Find the daughter, the cousin, the sister.
Through Facebook,
through TruePeopleSearch.com.
We have so much different point of contact. So for me, we start to implement the marketing of doing even video messages, just to let the person know that you're really legitimate and you can feel a connection. We also do emails. We also do mails. If it come to it, we do mails. Contact the family members. As long as we can find at least 3 young family members, we're gonna go after those. Contact with them. Let them know what the situation is, and 9 out of 10 times them helpful and willing to render some assistance.
And Andrew even found people in jail. Like literally, he has somebody on the contract right now, and they tracked the owner in jail. He signed the contract in jail.
That's a fact.
All right, guys, and he doesn't want to work with anybody other than Andrew. You guys know why? Because Andrew is the only person that took the time after speaking with his sister, took the time and have enough self-respect to tell the sister, hey, listen, you don't have to deal with your brother. I'll deal with your brother. Let me talk to him. Where is he? The sister is like, well, he's in jail. I really don't know what to do, how to find him. He said, don't worry about it. Give me his full name and some of other information. And he went into hunting mode and found the seller in jail. And they're on the contract right now with the brother from jail.
As we speak.
That is gangster. That's the boom squad way, guys. I'm telling you guys right now. But those are the best deals, though. Like the deals that you do the not just the first step and then you give up.
Yeah, the extra work.
The extra work, right?
Yeah, the extra layer where nobody else want to do. You know what I mean? These things, as long as you have resources, and then it's like going down a rabbit hole. But after you do it the first time, the second time, Mamadou, then it becomes a little bit easier.
Got it. So how about if a newbie is sitting there saying, hey, for me, I'm scared, right? So I'm scared to go door knock. I don't know what to do. I don't have self-confidence. Why don't I just sit down and cold call these sellers? Guys, if you don't know what cold calling is, basically just picking up your phone and hand dialing these sellers, right? Once you get the data, or maybe send direct mail or just text messages, like what would you tell that newbie?
Hey, listen, so cold calling compared to door knocking, in a nutshell, door knocking, it give way more credibility. Well, based off of my experience, door knocking and being upfront inside of the doorway, you can get a chance for these people actually invite you inside them home.
Right.
A lot of these people want somebody to talk to. That is what I come across.
Right.
Come inside the home, sit down, and by the time you finish, them tell you how everything play out, and you just offer the assistance you can offer. But compared to cold calling, these people they're behind on payments. So imagine trying to get through to somebody who is behind on mortgage payment. 9 out of 10 times the phone line is off. Them might get bombarded by everybody and the mother. So you've been there.
Not only they disconnect their numbers, guys, but guess what else? some of them don't have the money to pay their phone bill.
Absolutely.
So you can't really get hold of them by trying to call them. So you're leaving so much money on the table by not going in front of the door and then just door knocking them. But I can tell you guys that right now, like if you're looking for a cheat code that is going to help you like get contracts the easy way in wholesaling real estate, this is the wrong business for you. Don't even start. I don't care what route you choose. I don't care if you choose text messages. I don't care if you choose cold calling. I don't care if you choose door knocking. I don't care if you choose bandit signs. Whatever marketing channel you choose, you will have to do the work. I see so many. Yesterday I saw a post that kind of fascinated me, right? So now you have a bunch of newbies that basically as a cop-out mechanism, right, trying to avoid the work, they came up with all these creative strategies like, okay, there's some people now literally charging to underwrite your deal for you. So let's say you get a pre-foreclosure lead, right, as a newbie, and you don't know how to come up with the numbers. So these people literally now they became underwriters, and they charge you like, let's say $200 per deal
to do what?
To underwrite it. So let's say you jump on a Zoom with them, and then they look at, okay, so you talk to the seller, okay, what are the numbers, and then they tell you if it's a deal or if it's not a deal. Bunch of people that have never closed deals. So basically, like okay, you have a transaction coordinator. I understand. A transaction coordinator, I definitely understand, because the paperwork can get tedious. Plus, if you're doing acquisition in real estate, your money really comes from you hunting the next contract, right? Now, the underwriting on big multifamilies also, I understand. That's that's super key. But underwriting single family, there is people right now charging fees to newbies to help them underwrite a deal, and they've never closed a deal. Like they've never closed a deal. But I tell you why. Like I'm not really hating on you. They should, because if you're gonna take somebody's time for 1 hour and ask questions and not JV with them, they should charge you. That's not my point. My point is there's a lot of newbies out here trying to find cop-out mechanism ways because they're afraid to make the calls. They're afraid to do the door knocking. They're basically afraid to do the work. So they're trying to find ways. Oh, I just want to be a TC, or I just want to be an admin, or I just want to be a shoelace, whatever tire. It's just avoiding the work. And it's a bunch of like, to me, guys, if you ever going to hire anybody to underwrite your deals and pay them, make sure to show you a HUD. If you don't know what a HUD is, what is a HUD?
HUD is after the closing. HUD is when you close deal. HUD up or shut up.
It's the receipt. Is the proof that they've closed the deal, right? So I'm not hating. I'm just saying stop finding cop-out mechanism, because there is no strategy whatsoever that will help you avoid doing the work. Like wholesaling real estate is not a side hustle. Do you agree?
Of course.
It's a full-time occupation. Just so it's not meant for everybody. But I promise you the skill is way worth it. Because that is the acquisition skill where if you learn it, you can translate it into what? And it's just marketing. It's pure sales and marketing.
100%.
Right?
And it's more than 8 hours. So it's not an 8-hour job either.
All right. So what is your craziest door knocking story? Like crazy wild.
This home, I closed this deal though, but this home was a very strange one. From the first step, something was off. There was a suitcase at the front of the door. You can tell she traveled. It still have the travel information on it. I don't know what went wrong. The house just, by your walk up, you just smell pure cat urine, pure cat feces. That one was a different one. Take a picture of the suitcase, reach back home, contact the homeowner, only to find out the guy have a tenant from hell. The garage, it was halfway up, couldn't even close all the way down because she was an order. Now, Mamadou, let me tell you about that to keep it in a nutshell. When we go inside of that home, when we talk to the homeowner, because he was also from the islands as well, but when we speak with the homeowner and him explain the situation, him give him access to the property to go inside, and that was, I think, by far the worst one I've ever seen. It did really and truly horrible. Cat was still living inside the garage.
In terms of how dirty the house is?
Yeah, the feces all over the place. In terms of just the condition of the home.
And the tenant live inside that house like that?
She didn't live inside of it at the time, only to find out that the guy had just gotten fed up and closed the door. I think she came in one day. I think he got in trouble for that, to be honest with you, at a later date. But he actually changed the lock on her. That is why the suitcase was there. And that was just a strange and a weird one, but nevertheless, we try to help him out. Even in the court situation, we still try to help him out by writing him a couple of letters, make him know that the judge because it went to court. Let the judge know that we actually purchased the property and give the lady full access to the property to come and take her stuff, because she took him to court saying that he changed the lock and would dump all our stuff. There was nothing inside the home of any value, by the way. But it was just a lot going on that one. But
so if somebody's going to choose pre-foreclosures and door knocking in general, right?
Yeah.
At what phase should they go after the seller? Should they go after the seller as soon as the seller received the first notice from the lender? Should they at what point should they have the seller on their door knocking list?
So the seller typically go through 3 phases of denial, but always approach the seller at first just to see what the long-term goal of the situation is. Like, what is it that they want for the long term? So for me, I always try to make the first approach, because they're not going to get investor bombard them with a lot of texts and calls and door knockers, because you have other people where you also compete with inside the market.
100%.
So
do you call them at the phase where they're about to be foreclosed on in a couple of weeks, months?
All 3 times. Where as them come on, we try to make the initial contact. They will come back and we'll also re-knock
as soon as they land on the list, even if they don't have an auction coming up.
Even if them I wait for an auction date, because
that's what I meant. Yeah. So for you to door knock pre-foreclosures, or even to do pre-foreclosures in general, you should target the sellers that have an auction date coming up. Whether that be in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. Typically, you want a short period of time, right?
Yeah.
So that's the best time. Because anything before that, guys, they're so completely like...
in denial.
In denial. They don't want to talk to you. They got it handled.
Yep.
Jesus will help them pay the bill. What was that lady that told you Jesus will pay the bill?
We have this one guy who told us that. And we have... God will provide.
Okay, so that's what I meant. So that's the first thing. So the phase is make sure they have an auction coming up. Number 2, what would you advise a newbie how to choose the market for pre-foreclosures?
Well, in regards to the market, so for me, my market anywhere inside of where I live. I try to target places in which part I live, and not too much the rural area. Because a lot of the times you get these properties inside of the rural area, and there's nothing can be done with those properties. So for the most part, the first area for me, Mamadou, is the area close to you that you're assisting. And if you want to target a market, kind of target the more city-ish, 30, 45.
Like metro areas.
Yeah, metro areas.
So,
like those.
Guys, we did a whole episode to show you exactly how you find your hot zip codes in your area. So you don't just get up and just go door knock anywhere. Like there's certain neighborhoods you want to stay away from. There's certain markets you want to stay away from. Why? Because you won't have clients for your contracts. Absolutely. Right? You need activity. So you should absolutely go into the link in bio, obviously, and we're gonna put the description link below. You should go watch the episode. We showed you exactly how to find the hottest zip codes in your market. That's one. Secondly, me personally, I advise to basically target the states where the pre-foreclosure process, like the foreclosure process, is way more aggressive. What I mean by way more aggressive is, I'll give you an example. I started my journey in Maryland, like New Jersey, Maryland, all these we call them blue states, right? Don't care about politics at all, okay? Neither do I care about gangs, so it's not about blue and red. But blue states typically, like, they can take up to like 2 years to foreclose on a seller. You can talk to a seller that haven't paid their mortgage since 2010, and they still haven't gotten foreclosed on. And they'll tell you, if you give me $500 for my house that is worth $100,000, then I'll sell it to you, because they know they have all the time in the world, right? So blue states are more challenging. So those are like Maryland, New Jersey, Central Florida. So it's not that you cannot get deals. I do deals in those states. I've done pre-foreclosure deals. But in red states, though, like Arizona, here in Georgia, Texas, North Carolina, they're super aggressive. 3 months. In general, you're out of the house. So the sellers have way more sense of urgency. So they have way more, like, they're way more alert and willing to talk to you and listen. Even though even in these states, you still have to like insist, like, how many follow-ups you got to do.
Man, at least 8 to 9 touches before you can actually get somebody. Because the first set of touches, Mamadou, you typically don't even talk about the house. For me, I don't even mention the house until about the last 3 touches. That's when we get into condition.
Right.
The first touches for me, the first 5 touches is for kind of solve the solution as to what problem is there. Because that's where everything is at. The real estate will always be the real estate, but my first set of touches, Mamadou, is always for find the problem, come up with a solution. Me and them attack. Me I get a whole picture as to what causes the situation. Where you'd like to move to, where it is in regard, sometimes we even provide food for these homeowners.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. So how many doors per contract? Like how many doors you have to door knock in general to get a contract?
For me, if you do 50 doors, so it's not really the door knocking that gives the contract, it's the constant following up.
It's the follow-up.
Yeah, you knock 50 doors. For me, I come home, I cold call those 50 doors.
So how many doors per day? Like give them a breakdown on your day, with like one day of a door knocker. So you wake up in the morning, you have all your addresses ready the day before, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, how many addresses typically?
Anywhere between 18 to 20 doors.
Okay, so in the morning, once you're ready to go, you already mapped out all those doors.
100%.
Right? So you're heading straight to door knock them.
Mm-hmm.
So like how many doors you door knock one day?
In one day, we got at least 20 doors.
Okay,
so
20 doors.
Everything. So for me, the Google map already show me. So from this door, the next door, the closest door is not like all over the zip code. Right. So it kind of cut the time down. So within 2 hours to 3 hours, we can cover at least a span of 20 to 25 doors.
Okay. So you knock on the door,
Mm-hmm.
you talk to the seller, like what is that? How much time you spend with the seller in front of the door?
For me, well, the first initial contact is always kind of to do the introduction, because we are going to try complete those 25 doors. So the conversation typically lasts 5 to 10 minutes. Sometimes it even go over because they will invite you in and then you not really turn them away.
Right.
On an average, 15 minutes at the door just for kind of introduce yourself and tell them why you're there and ask them what is it that they have done so far. You exchange numbers. Always try to get the number at the door. Always try to retrieve a number from the door so you could do a follow-up call later on in the evening, and that's when you spend the longer bulk of the time Mamadou for kind of get into the situation.
Got it. So one, you get the number,
Mm-hmm.
you spend max 15 minutes if you can, so that you can get to as many doors as you can.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are not there, what do you do? Like the ones that are not in the house?
The ones that are not at the house will leave a note, a nice note, just letting them know that, hey, we're here to assist you. Whatever the situation is, we completely understand, and we slide it inside the door so the homeowner can get it. And typically, them on average, we get back, if we leave 10 note, we get back at least 6 phone call saying that they saw the note. And
so they call you back from the note.
Absolutely.
Boom.
Absolutely.
So then you do that. Then 2 hours. Let's say 2 hours. You're done. Then what's next? What do you do next?
The people who are not at the doors, we're going home, because next thing again, we're driving for dollars.
Okay.
Guys, if you're outside and you're door knocking, make sure.
Tell them what driving for dollars means.
Driving for dollars is where you get inside a car. Well, you're actually inside a car already, and you're looking inside the area for ugly houses. Now, you're inside a neighborhood, and all the lawns are well cut. There's this one house, Mamadou. If you pay attention and looking through the eyes of an investor, there's this one house that just look out of place.
Right.
Probably not on your foreclosure list, but you need to get that address.
Right.
And you need to contact that homeowner, and you need to find out if there's a problem that you could solve.
So guys, you basically killing multiple birds with one stone, right?
Yep.
So he's getting out into the marketplace, and then he's door knocking the neighborhood. But while he's door knocking, he also have his eyes open and looking for other opportunities, which is where he basically just opens an app and then upload whatever ugly house he sees in that neighborhood as well, even if it's not on his list. And then after that, you go back to the office and then what? Make calls
office,
and
make the calls to the ones that was not at home.
Okay.
I make the calls to the one who even give you the number, but that's where the calls now, and you start to put things into perspective to see who needs to be on the follow-up.
Right.
For the ugly home that we might call just driving around, we also make the calls to those and just try to see if there's no problem that can be solved. And there's always work to do, guys.
Always.
Always work.
So guys, just so you know, with pre-foreclosures, what you're gonna realize really, really fast is every single seller you talk to, they have the same script. They all want to keep. They all got it handled. They all like have it figured out, right? But guess what? It is just a wall that they have. So until you're super persistent, you do the follow-up, you build some rapport, you show them that you're super genuine, you do definitely want to help, then they will open up and want to work with you. When you're doing pre-foreclosures, what I really found is you're like an unlicensed therapist. These people, they just want to vent, they just want to talk, they want to talk to you about their private problems, how they're going through divorce, how did the ex take advantage of them, how did they lose their job, how unfair life is, blah, 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 blah. And at the end of the day, you are just trying to help an adult make the wise decision to, hey, at the end realize that, you know what, I should definitely let this house go. Why? Because I shouldn't have bought it in the first place. I cannot afford it. I cannot afford it, because even when they want to keep it, guess what? Statistics shows that probably up to 90% of the people that end up keeping, let's say they do like a loan modification, for example, right? Or they file bankruptcy and they end up keeping.
Right.
What happens is, statistically it shows that 90% of them 3 months later they're behind again.
Of course.
And most of them end up losing their homes. So your job is to help them to either talk to these sellers by practice, which on the team with the Boom Squad, we do role plays. That's what we do. So we practice it. But when you're new, you just got to build your network and then partner with somebody that knows how to talk to the sellers, so that when you generate the lead, you can just lean off of somebody and go, hey, you know what? I'm a little bit on the newer side. I just wanted to see if you really need assistance. And then I'm going to bring on my acquisition specialist or my foreclosure specialist or whatever. Like this, the sellers that are just looking to keep, right? Because at the end of the day, we're investors. We do a system what we funnel them to transactmasters.com, and transactmasters.com can help them with the loan modifications, with whatever, filing the bankruptcies, doing the probates, if they truly want to keep, as they should. But guess what? Even if they keep, we still follow up with them.
Of course.
Hey, how is it going? Hey, how is everything? Hey, did the loan mod work? Hey, did this, did that? Remember, if you're resourceful and you like connect them with somebody like transactmasters.com, even though they want to keep, or you connect them with whatever resource they need, and then you follow up with them, that's such a great report to when they're ready to sell. Guess who they're going to reach out to? You. All right. So you got to be a problem solver. Number one, if you genuinely don't like solving problems, don't even start. You're going to hate your life doing pre-foreclosures. If you're just going out for a check, if that's all you care about, I promise you will hate your life with pre-foreclosures. Because I'm telling you right now, even though they're going through all these problems, they will not just take the key and hand it over to you.
Nope.
Most of them don't know what they want. Most of them are super in denial. Most of them will try to screw you. Like literally, even though you're trying everything to help them, they will go behind you, do some sneaky stuff, and then come back to you. And most of them are dealing with so many personal problems: alcohol, drugs, divorce, mixed with anxiety and stress and depression. And it's crazy, but we love it because at the end of the day, we're problem solvers, and you will not get every contract. That's just the name of the game. All right, guys. So listen, if you're sitting there and you're wondering if 2024 is even the right time to get into real estate wholesaling, which again, I'm gonna reinstate this: real estate wholesaling is not real estate investing. It's just an acquisition strategy. All right, it's pure marketing and sales. When you get these properties under contract, then you sell that contract for a fee. It is not investing. So don't confuse the two. So real estate wholesaling really is a hustle. Is for people that, hey, I don't have the capital, I need to build up my capital. I also don't have the sales background, I don't have the marketing, so I want to build that skill as well, so I can like right now we're doing business acquisition. Well, guess what? The reason I can talk to a business owner and negotiate them is because I've learned the negotiation skill through wholesaling.
Absolutely.
I didn't have any real estate sales background when I started. So that's the same thing with Andrew right now, right? Just guys, listen to his Jamaican accent. Listen to my I don't even know what my accent is. My accent is African Belgian because I grew up in Belgium, right? Speak 4 different languages, mixed with Caribbean. Some people think I'm from the Caribbean. Like, it's mixed, right? But if we can do it, why can't you? If we could also get into this with zero experience, why can't you? Now, if you believe it doesn't work, then you're absolutely right. Whatever you believe, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that right now. But this is not the podcast where we'll tell you there is a cheat code. There is none. You're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to learn how to be good on the phones. You're going to have to build a network. Real estate do you agree, is like a soccer sport? You need a team. You can't do this by yourself. Real estate is a team sport. If you don't build your team, you're completely like, don't even try. You're going to get burnt out. You're going to give up. It's going to be like boring.
Yep.
You agree?
Yeah, we get played out. It's going to get boring as before. We even have the team right now at the office, and that is the purpose of bringing in everybody close-knit. We have this congregation where we call, text, we run ideas by each other, we come, we talk to cash buyer. It's just like an in-house family type of thing. And as long as you have an environment like that, you will strive. It won't even feel like you're working. By the way,
guys, we have that squad that is bold, obsessed, optimistic, and we have that abundance mindset. Listen, if you're marketing to pre-foreclosures and you want to partner up with us, just reach us, on all social media platforms. You can DM me on Instagram at Real Estate Diallo. I'll hand you over the link to do a joint venture with my team. We'll help you close these sellers. If you're on the newer side, you don't know how to talk, or you just need advice. But if all the free resources are obviously on YouTube, listen to this podcast every single Monday at 6:30 p.m. Andrew, where can they find you?
Andrew Powell _, investor on all platforms. And just DM me, reach out. I have a lot of DMs, by the way.
Boom.
I get a little bit more famous than I think me is, but keep them coming. I'm here to assist.
Let's go, guys. And I will put his YouTube link in the description below. You guys make sure you go follow his YouTube channel. And guys, no excuses. I promise you guys, if we can do it, you can absolutely do it. And if you're in the Georgia market, we're definitely looking to work with you guys. Reach out. And until next time, guys, stay bold and be bold. Boom, boom,
Boom, boom, boom.
boom.